So, welcome to today's episode of the NFT Podcast. Today we have with us the Hexarchia, that is an exciting war and strategy blockchain video game, and I'm here with the founders, the CEO and the CTO. So, who are you guys and where are you based?
Hello, everybody. I'm Carlo Moretti. I'm the CEO of Hexarchia, and we are based in Florence, Italy.
Great.
Hi, I'm Joseph Aliaga. I am the CTO. I also live near Florence, so me and Carlo are really close, and we work together many times.
Great.
At the same time, though, the other two guys in the team are in other cities in Italy. One is in Rome, and the other one is in Rimini. So
Wow.
we are spread all around the country.
Yeah.
Great. So remote working is the way. And so let's jump into the NFTs world. What's your story with NFTs, guys? How did you start?
Well, that's a cool question, and I'd like to share my story, which is kind of funny. So I remember when I just turned 22 in 2017. I was surfing the internet, and I found out about this crazy guy called Vitalik Buterin. Everyone knows him now, and his idea of developing this world computer which you could use to program money and a lot of cool stuff. And I said, oh wow, that's crazy, that's so cool. I want to get a piece of the cake, I was like, that's so cool. So I searched more for about 2 weeks, and then I decided to set up a Coinbase wallet and to purchase my first Ethereum for about $500.
Oh god.
And I was only 22 years old, and in a few months I was looking this one Ethereum going to 700, 800, 900, $1,000, and it was really the
2000
first
today.
2000 today. Big shout out to Ethereum. And so I was like crazy. And then the NFT came, the first, remember CryptoKitties end of 2017. And I remember that I found this project called cryptocountries.io, which allowed players to collect countries as NFTs, ERC 721 at the time, so that each country of the was an NFT. I said, okay, let's see what it is about. And in February 2018, I started to collect this country. I can still remember I spent my only Ethereum in this country, Japan.
Oh.
And it was crazy because, believe me, in February 2018, this game went really ballistic. A lot of trades were made, and me, just a kid entirely new to this industry, I was able to turn this one Ethereum, simply flipping countries on the platform, into 46 Ethereum
Wow.
in already 2 months, and it was something that for me, it was something really unbelievable. I couldn't even believe myself,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, what happened, if you remember right, April 2018, the entire market crashed.
Yeah.
So that went down like crazy. And me, I was sincerely not expecting it. And at the same time, the founders of the project, they left the platform. So they left us with these NFTs in our pockets, with these very heavy bags, and nothing. I mean, like the same way I made a crazy amount of Ethereum, I also lost it at the same
Wow.
time.
No.
That's my story on how I purchased my first NFTs.
So
Yeah.
rich for one day just and then poor again. Oh god.
I see.
Exactly. But at the same time, if I might, I also learned a big lesson from this huge kind of scam. I was so the whole project of Hexarchia came out in the months following to the closure of this website, because I promised myself that no one else ever should have experienced what I experienced. So I decided, together with my co-founders, to build a video game where, in fact, people could be able to achieve such huge results, but with a true gaming experience where you don't just flip countries, but you actually play a video game, you have fun. In our case, you make war and you also make money eventually.
This is a great mission. This is a really great mission. You want to make others learn from your mistake. Wow. And you, Joseph, what's your story with NFTs, right?
Mine is quite different actually, because when all that was happening to Carlo, I was entering the world of video games. Because actually, before I was studying computer science in the college. Then after a couple of years, I left because I just didn't like the know what I was going from there. So I was in my final years of this academy where I was studying to become a game designer and was just having fun. When you have the excuse for, oh, my homework is playing video games because I have to study them. It was a great time. Anyway, in that period, it was Carlo who contacted actually a friend and colleague of mine, but this friend couldn't, which is also a game designer, but this friend actually couldn't. He was busy. He couldn't do this job, and he called me, say, "Hey, Josh, can you go please to this? I actually don't have time, etc., etc." And at that time, I was, there was rumors about blockchain, the new cryptos, and I was quite skeptical actually because I didn't know
Yeah,
much about
as
it.
everyone
It
at the
was,
beginning.
yeah, it was very very strange stuff for me. I didn't totally, I didn't understand it very much. So I decided okay, because this friend of mine just he wanted to do the work, but couldn't just he didn't have time. So I say okay,
Let's do
let's
it.
see, let's try it. And I met Carlo. He told me about this. I still was skeptical, but the way that he presented his idea of a new game, a kind of game, actually intrigued me because from a game design perspective, it was quite interesting. It was a bit different. It was challenging. So I say, okay, I'm in. Then from that point, slowly, I started to learn about blockchain, starting to learn about the cryptocurrency, and little by little, I was just eventually I was fully into blockchain. I was completely sold. Now I'm trading every day.
Now I open my crypto app every day and I cannot sleep anymore.
Yeah.
This is how everything goes. So cool, guys. So did you meet and Hexarchia started? And so let's talk more about Hexarchia. What game is it? What is special about this game? And what makes it different from Hexarchia and the other blockchain video games?
Well, if I can take this point, Hexarchia is how can I say? It's a very, very peculiar game. It's two kind of games at the same time. It's a strategy game, but also a real-time. Let's say it's a turn-based game, but also a real-time strategy game. It's a hybrid between a classic turn-based game, like can be, for example, chess, which we take most of our inspirations as a game and rules, but also it's a real time, because at the end of the day you have two phases. You have one phase where you have to plan all your moves, predict enemy moves, decide what you have to do, move your troops, use some skills, etc., etc. And the second phase, when every player has confirmed their movements, everything in the battlefield moves in real time. This is the
Okay.
peculiarity of the game. Now, going more in detail, no, it's a turn-based game, war strategy game, all versus all, or you can say free for all. It's so there are 6 players battling everyone for each other, and the last one who remains is the winner. How can I say more? It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really really simple.
yeah, it's based on the greatest civilizations of all time. So the players will take the clothes of great commanders of ancient time, and they will have these so-called warlords guiding their troops to war against other players. So it's really inspired by chess and other games such as Civilization, for example.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And so, how all this game is it linked to NFTs? How are you building around it?
Well, first of all, the warlords, which act in the Hexarchia game much like the king in chess, so that if you defeat the opponent's warlord, the opponent loses the game. If your warlord is defeated, then you lose the game, are non-fungible tokens on Ethereum layer 1. So they will be collectibles. At the same time, we use NFTs also for the equipments of the video game. So we have these swords, hammers, shields, very powerful armors, which will be also tokenized on Ethereum. At this moment, for the alpha and the beta, the equipments will be not available, and they will be available for the final version of the game. We are thinking about using layer 2 solutions for these NFTs, since for scaling the economy of the game at the moment, we're waiting for the EIP upgrade for the blockchain, and eventually also Ethereum 2, God knows when. It's not scalable enough right now for the skins trade right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have like a marketplace of these NFTs inside your game. You want to put this marketplace out of the NFTs.
No, not really. I mean, we both will enable a marketplace on our website. At the same time, since this is a great feature of Ethereum-based NFTs, we will also allow our players to exchange them on third-party decentralized marketplaces, such as those that you all guys know.
Okay.
Yeah. Another stuff which is important to stress is the fact that we are developing our own smart contracts. So we are the ones who create the tokens. We do not rely on third-party solutions to create the ERCs 1155.
Wow.
Yeah, the point also is now we have a lot of, Carlo mentioned it, we have swords, maces, shields, spears, any kind of equipment, which also can be customizable, not only from colors, but also, how can I say, particle effects, web effects. So for the warlords, they can equip many different kinds of weapons, and there is also rarity levels. So for according to the rarity level, you will have many particles, effects, all kind of effects that enhances the weapons. So try to imagine how many NFTs eventually will be traded in a single marketplace. That's the reason, because there are just too many, and right now the fee cost, the gas is really it's too much. It's too much expensive.
Okay, and so which protocol are you using to build Hexarchia, and why you are using it?
Actually, since as I mentioned before, we have so many NFTs that the marketing, eventually in a market will be, the costs and fees will be way too higher and way too much. So we are currently exploring many layer 2 solutions. There are many opportunities, many possibilities, and we are also kind of waiting a little bit since the game will be there is a bit more of time for the game to find a version of the game to go out. So we are kind of waiting a little bit for Ethereum 2 to see how the situation develops.
Yeah, exactly. If I might add on that, you know that we are chain agnostic, let's say. So we do not fall in love with a chain or the other. We appreciate all these chains and we love the technology itself. At the same time, we must admit that Ethereum has been the leader within a lot of spaces, included the NFT space. There are other chains, very cool chains, which are offering much lower gas fees, in some cases, even like free of charge transactions, which is for a video game massively important. But at the same time, we also need to consider where the community is and what the community needs. So if much of the community is on Ethereum right now, although a bit less, I would say, than a year or 2 years ago, we also need to take that into account. So at the moment, as I said earlier, for the warlords, which will be not traded as crazy like the equipments, we are using Ethereum layer 1. For the equipments, we are exploring especially Polygon, previously Matic, we XDAI, which is also very cool. We're thinking about Engine, which came out with a super interesting project, X Infinity. But if you think about it on a development standpoint, it's not easy to choose, because there is so much offer on the market right now.
Yeah.
So for the moment, since for the alpha, which is coming in late spring, it will not be needed. We are just exploring, we're just exploring different technologies.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, if I can add a little bit more, we really, really want to stay neutral because Carlo knows very much. I kind of experimented it a little bit later because I arrived later in the blockchain game, in the blockchain panorama. But there is this little, how can I say, tribal side. I mean, no, every people will like Ethereum, stays on Ethereum, and doesn't like other kind of chain. If you stay in another token of chain, you don't like the other one. So we don't like that much. We will like to embrace everyone as much as possible. So that's really, really important for us to find a solution as neutral as possible.
Exactly. If I might, Francesco, real quick add on this, that's why our idea is to tokenize on a specific platform, at the moment Ethereum, but at the same time allow payments with a lot of coins, so that you can pay with Polkadot, you can pay with Cardano, you can pay with Binance Coin. So we are adopting payment solutions that allow users with major coins, let's say, not any kind of coin, but major coins to pay. But on the tokenization level, we are trying to understand when Cardano comes out, if Polkadot is going to be there in 1 year and a half, if it's worth, all this kind of stuff, which is very important to understand,
Wow. Yes. Okay. I love this taking of part because you say we love the technology. We don't care about which technology other people use. We just love the technology. We follow it. And you say the same for cryptocurrencies that you will use as payment solutions. So we don't want to choose for our users. There will be our users that will choose which can use, also because different users love to have different cryptos. So if an user doesn't like Ethereum and he only has got Cardanos and Binance, as you said, you want them to play, and this is a great tactic because you are opening your user base and you are not closing from a single part of them. Okay, great. So you talk about a community of users, and where and how are you building your community, and which channels are you using, and what do you want to share about that?
Well, we started to launch our social media channels in early March 2021, although the development process is going on already since late 2019. And we established ourselves on Twitter, which is, as you know, the main driver for communication for this amazing community.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we decided also to establish ourselves on Instagram, because we noticed that although in the previous years it was not really a huge player, in the field. Now we understood that it's since NFTs made blockchain more and more mainstream, we noticed that also Instagram is working very well.
Yeah.
So we decided to open up a channel on Instagram. We opened up a channel on Twitter, and also we created a YouTube channel where we are posting the first videos. You can see the presentation of the team, the first trailer, and we will posting more and more often in the coming weeks.
Great. It's always great to see the faces behind the team, the management, and how you are. How do you think you are engaging with your community? So, like, more on Twitter and on Instagram, how do you engage them?
So we try to be more proactive as much as we can. So we do. So first of all, we do not yet have a marketing guru, let's say, in our team. So it's the founding members who are managing the pages right now. So we try as much as we can in between the development process and the administration process to manage the pages. What we try to do on Twitter especially is to engage in other people's posts. We notice that more than the posts we publish, we receive feedbacks from the engagement in other people's posts. So we notice this on Twitter. And on Instagram, we are trying to push the stories so that to produce, exclusive content regarding, the market trends. And especially we focus on Bitcoin because we think the Bitcoin is the biggest, is the king. We love all of them, but Bitcoin is really the king. So and it's also for the mainstream maybe the easiest to understand. Kind of that. At the same time, we have a lot of content coming from the game. So if you see our pages, we have a lot. We have developed already 3 maps, which are ancient Japan, ancient Rome, and ancient Egypt, and we are showing off our maps through posts on Instagram mainly. So that's how we were trying to get the community involved into the project for the moment.
Cool. You're doing well because at the beginning it's better not like having a guru marketing team, but it's better to build awareness. And one of the best ways that I've seen in my life to build awareness on Instagram is exactly how you're doing. So by commenting on the post and one-to-one, so DM. This is also the way that we meet ourselves. So it worked, it seems. Okay, great. So this is how you're building your awareness, and let's come back again 1 second to the game, but more on a general level. So I'm very interested in know more about, in your opinion, what are the main differences between blockchain video games and traditional video games?
Oh, there are lots of differences. From first of all you have to kind of break it a little bit, because right now the biggest difference is quality. If you go to a PlayStation store, Xbox store, whatever traditional video game store, you have a lot of choices, you have a lot of games, and generally speaking, the quality is what you expect.
Yeah.
So that's also one of the reasons we wanted to enter into blockchain video game. Me personally, because I see if I don't know if you know some of the games that were popular in 2018, 2019, like Crypto Fighters, Crypto.io, something similar.
Also, Axie Infinity seems like one of them. Yeah,
Axie Infinity is actually pretty good. But apart of that, I saw the games and it was like, these are not games. These are just collectibles. These are. I mean, I don't want to no offense to the creators, because it takes a lot of work. But from just a design perspective, those are not games. So I want this cannot work. I mean, that's why we wanted so much to create a truly meaningful experience for the players. Our biggest focus is always the players and the users. So that's the really big difference. The first difference for me from traditional video games and blockchain video games, and not that's the first thing you see, but the second difference Big difference is that blockchains gives you liberty, gives you freedom, because if you buy something in a normal game, let's say a Candy Crush, Clash Royale, or whatever purchase you have is not yours at the end of the day. No,
Yeah.
you buy your sword, you buy your characters. So, for example, League of Legends, you can buy all the skins you want, but they are from the developer. They are proprietary from the developer, from the publisher. It's not yours at the end of the day. And if you wanna somehow get back some kind of reward, some kind of profit from all your work, all the work you have done in those years, months, whatever it was, you cannot, because they are not your property. You cannot sell, you cannot exchange, you cannot even, in many cases, you cannot even give them to your friends, because exchange accounts or something like that is forbidden.
Yeah.
So here comes handy blockchain, because allows you to do all of these things legally, freedom, and mostly secure. As for me,
Exactly.
this aspect, lastly, has been the biggest motivation for me to create a game, a big project here in the blockchain.
Oh.
Exactly. If I might add on that, Francesco, you know that as I shared my story at the beginning, there was a huge problem, I'd say, in the blockchain gaming industry in 2018 and 2019 with regards to the quality of gaming experiences. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was really exclusively based on collecting in-game assets for flipping them and generating an economic surplus. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not really what video games are about in the traditional market.
No.
Okay,
Or
it's
no.
about a gripping gaming experience. You love your game, you have fun, you play with your friends. Okay, and so that's also a main driving force which brought us to develop Hexarchia. So first of all, we want to build a good game, an engaging game, something where you have fun, you make war, you make battles. Okay, and at the same time, though, there is a huge problem in the traditional video game market. You might know that. I want to tell you that I'm a huge fan of Call of Duty. You know, I'm a big player of Call of Duty. Okay, especially during the lockdown, I played a lot of Call of Duty Mobile. I was in the championship in summer and everything. Okay, so Call of Duty Mobile and Call of Duty Warzone were super big in 2020 and 21. Okay, and it's about like hundreds of millions of players a day. Okay, it's massive. Okay, and hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent on Call of Duty in
Yeah.
2020. The problem is that all those amazing weapons cannot be sold back. Okay, so I
Yeah.
spend hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, so not me personally, but in general, on Call of Duty Mobile, and I cannot sell it back. It's not mine. You know,
Yeah.
it's it's so like weird that it is
See.
like that. You know,
Yeah.
it should not be like that. You know, and it's
Yes,
kind
because
of
once
go.
once I stop playing this game, I just lose everything I spent on it. So, or I become like a nerd and I play in it 20 years. But the problem is you say Call of Duty. Call of Duty comes up with a new game every 2 3 years. So
Yeah,
of course there are people that still play Modern Warfare 2, but they are because well, maybe it's one of the best Call of Duty game ever created, but there are more people, especially young people, that they don't play it, so they're moving to another itself, and you just lose everything you spend. So yes, this is a good opinion, and I wasn't thinking about that. Great. So this is what will bring the NFTs market to uh, jump. And so, what's your view on the market? What's your perspective on the current NFT space?
Well, you know, I believe that, so first of all, we must all congratulate to ourselves for what we have achieved in between the end of 2020 and early 2021, as it has been mind blowing. It has been a lot of fun. And if you see the engagement on Twitter, if you see the news from mainstream media, we are making it, guys. Like from people like me, who are here since 2017.
Yeah.
There are people who are here since even before. This is what we were aiming for, you know. So
Congrats.
big congratulations to all of us.
Yeah.
So I see. I mean, my expectation for the next months, let's say at least end of 2021, but I'd say also the coming years, is that um, although some projects might fail, so that people, as I did in 2018, might end up holding hot potatoes, let's say, I believe that projects involved in NBA, NFL, and the football in Europe, this kind of stuff will not end here. I
No.
believe that the trend is going up from here. It's the promise, the technology promises are so powerful that I don't see it stopping here. This is what I think.
Yeah. For me, the only thing I can say is your guys are crazy. You guys are completely bonkers. Because, as I say, I'm relatively new to the blockchain, and also NFTs. So I'm still kind of not saying no. There are so many things that still surprise me. So one of these things was when one day I log into OpenSea, I see this. It was literally 4 pixels. 4 pixels, just draw with paint. It was selling for 6 Ethereum. I don't know. I can say, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
No, and next to this, it was listed a 3D work from an artist, an actual artist. It was a 3D rendering from 3D models. No, something you can. I can say it takes maybe 7 days, 8 days of work, also considering the rendering. And it was selling for less than the half.
Yeah.
And it was okay. This makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
But it's also fun. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
okay, it's completely crazy, it's completely bonkers, but it can be fun. So I'm jumping into it because I'm crazy too, I guess.
It is very funny. And you're talking you said about pixels, so it comes up to me a question about quality. That was something we were talking before. About quality of blockchain games today. You mean also like graphic quality in the sense that it's lower. So the first blockchain game I can see, they are not 4K like Call of Duty, but they are on a lower quality too. This is something that you need to develop a game with a low quality at the beginning on the blockchain.
Oh, I think this is a different. How can I say? It's a complex question because it depends on what you mean with quality.
Hmm.
If you talk me a game with quality, I mean a really nice experience, not also from the gameplay, but also the interface, the user experience, how you log in, how do you store use things, etc., etc., etc. But if you in general, if you talk about blockchain video games, you have to think about that mostly of them, I don't know, maybe 90% of them are web-based.
Yeah.
So they are on the web. You open your browser, you log in with MetaMask or your email or whatever, and you're playing. This kind of platform of media restricts you so much from what you can develop.
Okay.
That's the reason we have migrated for Unreal Engine. This software, how can I say, graphics engine,
Yeah.
to develop our video game, because allows us to create something more. So I don't know, maybe I don't think we're the first, maybe one of the first. I'm among the first ones to create a blockchain video game that is a 3D game with where we're pushing really 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 high tech graphics, and you can see that in our projects. If you can access our or files or internal files, you will see these massive projects of 20-40 gigabytes for map. Of course, the end game will be compressed. It will be much much smaller, but
Yeah.
we are really pushing it, pushing it for the max quality, not only gameplay, not only for the for the game experience, but also the graphics.
Okay, great.
Francesco, if I might add on that, in 2018 and 2019, most collectible games were developed not by experienced game designers, such as, for example, Joseph, but from back-end developers, blockchain developers, who really were really good in developing the tokens, the tokenomics of it and all of that. But they were not focusing on the gaming experience. So when we talk about quality, on one side, but that's really a matter of taste, we also about the graphics. So for example, me, and I might be alone here, I'm not a huge fan of Minecraft. So me personally, I don't like the pixel art. But again, it's a matter of taste. A lot of people out love the CryptoPunks, okay? So me, I'm more into high quality graphics, produced with fantastic engines such as Unreal Engine. So on one side, for sure, it's the graphics, but most of all, when we talk about quality, we mean gaming experience. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And so, you're building Hexarchia in this game from it seems a lot, but what's your advice in terms of quality in any other terms that you have for newcomers in this industry?
Well, first of all, newcomers might be customers, might be producers, might be experienced producers, might be people with little experience. Okay, so first of all, for customers, I might say, since it is possible that the project will fail, okay, you must, or I would advise you to invest only on those projects that you really like.
Yeah.
Do not hype into a project that you are not sure about just because you saw a tweet saying it's gonna go to the moon. Don't do that, because you might end up kind of not liking what you do. So please make sure you buy only what you really like. Okay, then it can also go to zero, but at least you liked it. Okay, so this is an advice I want to give to newcomers in the industry. Second, on the development stuff. So we started to develop this game December 2019. Okay, so it's already 1 year and a half. The alpha will be launched in the next 1 month to 2 months, so it's very close. And it takes time, guys. So it takes time. It takes a lot of efforts. If you don't have big finance, if you don't have a lot of money, you need to promise shares. So it takes time. Don't just think, okay, I'm gonna build. I have this crazy idea about football games. I'm gonna create the next FIFA on the blockchain. I'm gonna be rich like in 3 months. Okay, it doesn't work like that. Okay.
No, there is an example I like to give when we talk about time the time is needed for developing games. It's something like this. No, you cannot ask a woman, no, I mean you cannot ask 2 women to make a baby in 4 months.
Yeah.
Because the times needed for developing a game are just those times. Sometimes you can put some more people to make a little bit shorter, produce what you need a little bit faster, but you cannot escape. Sometimes some things just need their time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, especially when you start your own business, you need to execute and it needs time, and you need to stop sleeping too. Yeah, great. And so it seems like the Hexarchia is the first child, though how you say it. But do you have also any other projects for the future?
Well, that's a good one. So first of all, right now we are entirely focused 100% on Hexarchia. We want to make it the best war&strategy video game on any blockchain. So that's really our main focus right now. At the same time, the startup behind Hexarchia is called Overdroid, already established in Italy, and it's established as a software house producing video games. So since our team has got all the skills to develop other games, our goal would be after the release of Hexarchia in the next years to produce for sure other video games. We do not have any ideas about the future titles, but that's for sure our goal in the future. And also, we are fascinated by the art industry. Of course, we are based in Florence, famous all around the world for the Renaissance and stuff. Or in general, the whole country of Italy is really into the arts. So that might be a field we might be interested to develop more. But for the moment, really, we are mainly focused on the Hexarchia project.
Okay, great. So you just a last question, because you mentioned again your team and you say there are four of us. And why four? Who are well, why? So what's the advice for a person to start a blockchain game? Which kind of people and which skills do they need to have to start?
Well, okay.
Oh,
So, if I might then please, Josh, add on that. So, it's important in general in any incubator you go. We didn't mention that, by the way, but we were incubated into the University of Florence incubator from September 2019 to January 2020, with other 20 even more startup ideas. And at the end of the journey, incredibly, already in January 2020, we were awarded the prize as the best startup idea by the University of Florence.
Oh,
And also, we won a competition in October 2020 in Startup Toscana with the best startups of all the universities of Tuscany, where we are. And there we arrived second. So, I mean, although we were competing with projects in robotics, architecture, wearables, so very different projects, no blockchain involved. So
yeah,
this, I wanted to underline this. These prizes, for example, could have never be achieved with me alone or Josh alone. The team is everything for such a project, because video games, although from from the surface might seem as an easy thing, they're actually a hard business. Okay, so video games, it's a big industry. It's something serious, you know. So you cannot develop a video game, communicate the video game, think of the economic architecture and everything by yourself. You know, you need a team. Four people in general is the preferred, also advised starting point. Of course, then you need to integrate. But for
yeah.
people for beginning, it's good.
yeah. As Carlo, as you both mentioned it, we currently are four people. Carlo, which is our project manager. Me, I'm the CTO. I also I'm assisting game design with the Dennis, which is our lead game designer. Actually, Dennis is the guy who Carlo contacted first, and he told me he's the one who told me, please check this project. I don't have time. I'll see. Then we have our programmer, which is his name is Andrea, and we are four guys. But as Carlo said, this should be just the starting point. Actually, because you need a lot more people actually to develop a game. We are currently struggling because we actually will need more people.
Yeah.
Eventually, we will get a couple more because we need them. But we are trying to make everything ourselves. No, we can.
Yeah.
So everything is developing house. But if you have to start in this kind of in this kind of industry, the first advice one of the first advice I will give, it will be something like, please check and study, understand first what are you willing to do.
Yeah.
What kind of game are you trying to do? Because the requirements for a simple 2D game, a browser game, or a 3D game are really different. They are not the same. They are not the same. Maybe except for the designer, not which can create a project which can create a game, design the gaming experience, the gameplay, etc. But aside that, if you're making a 3D game, you need a 3D artist, you need a level designer, you need a concept artist. If you're making a browser game, you need, for example, you will need a web programmer. You will need, how can I say, a 2D artist. You will need also many other things. So the requirements are really, really different. So don't make a mistake because at the beginning we kind of jumped into it without not fully knowing what we really needed. And of course, eventually we just learn it. We take our time. That's it. But don't make our mistakes.
Sure, great. So you want to expand, and of course, I think it's not so easy to find like blockchain in game developers still. So where do you look for them? Do you think like on Reddit? Which are the places that you can easily find maybe a new member to join the team, or is it just through your network?
Well, there is not such a person as a blockchain game developer. On the blockchain point of view, you need just a blockchain developer, a blockchain architect who develops the smart contracts. In our case, for the tokenization of the equipments and the avatars, and for the play to earn competitive mode, which will be the second mode after the free-to-play mode, and the play-to-earn mode will come with the final version. So ourselves, we have Josh, the CTO, who's studied engineering and also game design, and Andrea, who's a programmer. So we are working together with a French startup, and we are combining our forces to develop the smart contract. So I was studying in Paris 2 years ago. I entered into Ethereum France, and that's where I met the people we are collaborating with right now. So generally forums, to answer your question, generally forums. There might be some specific channels on Discord, on Slack. I wouldn't advise LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn is gaining more and more attraction. It's growing fast. We use it for the page of the startup, not for the game. But I believe that there you find people more interested in the money, So while in forums you find people more interested in the project. I might be wrong here. Please don't get me, don't get me literally. But this is what I think. Forums are better than LinkedIn to find this kind of professionals.
Yeah, especially for gamers and coders, I think. Yeah, forums is always
Yeah.
Reddit is for gamers and coders. It is why it's born, I think. And so Discord,
you can find us
is a chat
in our
developed
Discord corner.
first for gamers, and now I'm not such a gamer, but now I use Discord. But my friends that are gamers used the Discord 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, by the way, also Microsoft has announced they want to buy Discord.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, so it's gonna go big.
Yeah, that's a huge topic. Let's see what happens. And so one thing that you make me come in mind is so for a traditional gamer development, it's not so difficult to switch into a blockchain game developer. You say?
Yeah, it should not be that difficult. Maybe again, it depends on what kind of product you want to deliver. So the requirements and the professionals you need is, of course, can vary. But let's make a little example. If you are a normal programmer and concept artist, you're a normal software house. You're a normal software house which develops video games. If you take in a blockchain developer, someone who will develop smart contracts, eventually, for you it's easy because you have only to develop the smart contract, integrate it with your game, and you're done. On the other side, it's not that the contrary. It's not easy because actually you don't find how can I say blockchain developers who who are, find these professionals, which also are game developers, because they don't start it there. But this also I was thinking right now that actually a new kind of profession could be a blockchain developer specialized in video games. Now, if you think about it, it makes sense, because with the rising of NFTs, I think many others will want to jump into blockchain gaming industry, in this new segment. So, from what I can see, that there could be a needed, there should be a new kind of a necessity for this kind of profession, a blockchain developer which can also understand or develop video games.
Because if you think about it, Francesco, for example, when you design the economic architecture of a video game in a traditional video game, you do not take into account, for example, transaction speed, transaction cost, as you have had to do for about the past 3 years when developing on Ethereum. So now with layer 2 solution, the game has changed a bit, but so maybe game designers can think of the development the same way as they did for traditional video games. But earlier, you needed to adjust, the design to the technology condition. So that's what I think about that.
Okay, great. So, guys, thank you for coming here and sharing your story. It's very inspirational because you are a team so young and you're doing like in Italy that we don't talk a lot about blockchain. And very congrats for all the achievements that you got. And I appreciate it. And you can come back here when you want.
All right. Ciao, Francesco. Don't forget to visit our website and to visit our socials. There will be the description in below. So bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.